Hello and welcome back for those of you joining us again, and for those of you who are new. My name is Jolé Gabrielle, and my partner and the captain of Elevated Planet, John Drew. And today we will be going live, and I will let John tell you a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Jolé, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So we have a very New Earth-focused show today. And I think this is very timely because it's all happening. It's happening around us. And it's one of these things, it's like, for those who haven't studied this, it just seems bizarre that everything's changing. You know, the way that I always looked at things from my mainstream perspective was very much expecting like life to continue in the same way for years and decades on end. But now is the time to really start to focus in on this. And again, I will completely accept the fact that there will be those out there who think of this New Earth thing as, you know, like deluded nonsense. But have a listen to the evidence. That's all I say. Just listen to it, because even if you just take it away as something that's a little bit amusing and you kind of understand a little bit more of what this is about, even if you choose not to agree with it, then that's fine. I think that then that's the job is done. And one of the things that we're going to focus on today, we have a gentleman who is the author of this particular book. We got an interview with Rob Schwartz, and this is really a fascinating book. I've spoken about this one before, and we have something going on there which isn't like extracts from the book, which is included in this week's New Earth series as well, part 5 that goes out today, which what I've done this week is also added it as a video/audio blog that you can click on. So if you don't want to read it, you can just click on it and listen to it, or click on it and watch the little video that goes with it. But, you know, it's more audio than it is visual appeal. Anyway, what do you think, Jolé? That sound good?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start with this video. So again, just give me a second while I switch our screens around a little bit. Jolé will do a little dance here to entertain you while I'm shifting things around.
Hey.
This is the end of a spiritual season. It's the end of a 26,000-year spiritual cycle. And so a lot of people are wrapping up a lot of things in this lifetime. And those who don't have anything else to wrap up in their own evolution, they've come back to be of service and help out everybody else. And what's happening at the end of this 26,000 years is that the Earth is moving up in vibration or frequency from the third dimension, or third density is a better term, through fourth density, which is where we are now, and then eventually into fifth density. Fifth density is a vibration of oneness and unconditional love. So this is a dramatic and radical and unprecedented shift in the Earth's vibration. And those of us who are in body now came to assist with the ascension process. So what does the ascension process consist of? Well, it's essentially a process of purification. What is happening is that a lot of divine light direct from source is flooding the planet. And this is having a profound impact on every life form on the planet, and also within the planet and around the planet. The light has the effect of bringing to the surface everything unlike itself. In other words, everything of a lower vibration. The reason it does that is so that you can recognize these lower vibrational thought forms or feelings or whatever they might be, recognize them consciously, thank them for whatever they have taught you, bless them, and then release them to the universe or release them to source. That's essentially the process of letting go of something that is of a lower vibration. So for eons now, these lower vibrational thought forms and feelings and emotions, they've been largely subconscious, hidden from the awareness of the average person, but driving behavior in quite significant ways. And now all of this darkness is coming to the surface, and it's happening individually in every person's life. And it's also happening collectively to humanity as a whole, which I think is why you see all the craziness you see in the news these days. All the darkness is being brought to the surface by this influx of light. It's being brought to the surface so that we can recognize it, bless it, thank it, release it, let it go. And once it's gone, that allows our vibration to rise. It allows the planet's vibration to rise. And then we can complete the passage through fourth density and into fifth density. And we will get to a point, and I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think anybody knows exactly when it will happen, but we will get to a point, as I understand it, where we return to a state of oneness consciousness in which we no longer perceive ourselves as separate beings. We have a direct perception of the fact that each one of us is actually a cell, what you could call a cell in the heart of God. Each one of us is a cell in one magnificent being that exists all throughout all the dimensions in all the universes. If the purification process, if all the light brings to your conscious awareness aspects of yourself that are of a lower vibration, which could be almost anything. It could be negative thought forms, anger, a lack of forgiveness, judgment, whatever it might be. If things like that are coming into your conscious awareness, then you want to engage with them in a skillful and loving way, which again means recognize it consciously, thank it, whatever it is, for whatever it has taught you, bless it, set an intention to release it to the universe. You can do that on your own, or if you need some assistance, there are many, many skilled healers in the world today who can help you energetically in a process like that. My understanding is that if you are going to stay in body on the physical planet Earth, then your vibration will have to rise right along with the vibration of the planet. And so if you stay here, you will return to a state of oneness consciousness. Now, if you transition back to the other side, you can still assist ascension from the other side. And a lot of beings feel that they can assist better from the other side than they can by staying in body. The beings who transition back to the other side, they may or may not be done with their third density experiences. If they are, they'll go on to something of a much higher vibration. If they're not done, then there are other opportunities to continue on other third density planets. There will be a lot of people who, if it hasn't happened already, you will feel guided to transition to a completely or mostly plant-based diet. But there is a percentage of the population that needs animal protein for grounding purposes. So if your intuition tells you that you need to consume some animal protein, you should honor that. Trust your intuition.
The planetary cycle. Everything that is evolves in cycles, planets as well as humans. It is not exceptional for an individual or groups of individual souls to step off the karmic cycle at some point in time. What makes this era special, however, is that the Earth herself is completing a major karmic cycle. The Earth is involved in an inner transformation, which will result in a new type of consciousness in her being as a planet. At whatever point individual souls are within their own cycle, the Earth's transformation process will affect them. The Earth is your house. Compare it to the house you live in. Imagine that it is being rebuilt. This will greatly affect your daily life. Depending on your state of mind, you will experience it as a welcome change or a disrupting and upsetting event. If you are planning and looking forward to rebuilding your house anyway, you are in sync with the changes and you can go with the flow. The Earth's transformation process will support and enhance your personal transformation process. If you did not want to have your house rebuilt at all, you will feel frustrated by the chaos surrounding you. The inner Earth changes will throw you off balance. For those who are welcoming the inner changes of your planet Earth, these will be extremely empowering times. You will be lifted by the wave of light that is presently flooding your universe. Focus your energy for a moment on the heart of the Earth. Relax and focus. Can you feel something there? Can you feel how the Earth is being torn apart? How there is so much violence upon her? The Earth is feeling powerlessness and resistance at the same time. She's on the verge of creating a new foundation for her being. The Earth is going to release the energies of struggle, competition, and drama on inner and outer levels. The new foundation that is dawning within her is the energy of the heart, the energy of balance and connectedness, the living Christ energy.
So we're back.
We are back. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And as I said before, it actually is very much in alignment with a lot of the stuff that's gone out from us recently as well. And I am a big fan of Robert Schwartz. Incidentally, he was looking at our website the other day. He sent an email and just said that, to congratulate us on the work we were doing, which was nice.
Oh, nice.
But he has uncovered so much. I mean, the books that he's written have been a real source of inspiration for millions of people. And they're not always the easiest of reads either, because it's just mind-boggling. Like as Dolores Cannon used to say, prepare to have your mind bent like a pretzel, relative to like our mainstream version of reality. But when you stop and take in the knowledge that he shares, it just makes so much sense. And you realize, and again, it's one of these things, it's liberating, it's joyous, because you start to realize we have way more control and power than we kind of realized. So I think it's fantastic. Now, just to go through some of the bullet points on the video that's just played, he talks about the vibration of oneness coming to the surface, right? That's going to be where we realize that we're not all just individuals here on the planet having our own little battle of life. It's kind of, we all came from the same source. We all go back to the same source. We're all part of the same living, breathing entity. But yes, we are having our individuated experience, but, it's something that is drawing us closer together. So, and again, this hails back to this Piscean age thing that we're getting out of now, and the 26,000-year cycle, because the 26,000-year cycle is 12 times 2,160 years, because 2,160 years covers each of the zodiac signs that go through in that entire cycle. So I think it works out at 25,920 years. So call it 26,000 years for cash. Then, it's like, that's kind of why we are now at the end of that era, where the Piscean era that we have been in for over the last 2,000 years is drawing to a close, while the new age of Aquarius takes over. And the age of Aquarius is that oneness consciousness. It's the Christ consciousness. It's the heart-based consciousness, whatever you want to call it. But that's when we get out of the mind and out of the me of the Piscean age into the we of Aquarius, right? That's where everybody comes together as a community and starts to work as a community, rather than looking to, just as per the materialistic westernized world, working out how to compete with everybody else for seemingly scarce resources. And how can you ensure that you're doing okay? That's kind of where we've been. And there's so many secrets out there. There are so many lies that have been told to so many people. We've just been programmed in this way. And that's one of the things that this last 5 years plus has uncovered to me, I had no idea. I had no idea what had really been going on behind the scenes. And it's great because it just means that what lies ahead of us is just amazing, because, you know, much bigger than this like small example of life that's been spoon fed to us through our reality to date. Yeah. And one of the other things he talks about is the light that is entering into the earth. And I've read about this through numerous sources over the years. And yes, it's this photonic light energy type of thing that Sheila Seppi wrote about. Well, it wasn't so much that, but when I did the interview with her, she was explaining how in her previous incarnation, before she became a walk-in soul, which is a bizarre enough thing to get your head around in the first place, but I completely understand how that works. But she was out there on a spacecraft as one of many of our galactic cousins out there, firing photonic light energy into the earth to help with the raising of the vibration. And that goes into the earth, but we feel it as it comes back up. Now, it's not something that we're consciously aware of, but this is partly how, you know, Mother Earth is ascending, is because of the higher vibrations of the photonic light energy. And of course, you've got the Schumann resonance, which has been increasing, and that is a sure sign that the heartbeat of the earth is increasing in vibration. And that's something that directly affects us and our matrix of the human body. And again, just to emphasize, we are not the human body. We are the spirit, the life force energy that occupies the body. So celebrate the body. It's your vehicle for this life, but you're not actually the physical body. You can never die. You never will. So don't ever fear death. You know, as I say, it's I always caveat that also by just saying that comes with a money back guarantee. If I got it wrong, then come and tell me. But it's but no, I mean, see all these near death experiences and stuff that we've gone through in the past, and Gary Wimmer himself, and we had Andy Petro as well before that, and thousands upon thousands of examples all being brought to the surface now to reinforce the fact that there is a very consistent way in which these things happen. What happens once you pass over? Well, actually, there's not that much mystery about it now. If you actually choose to open your mind and look for yourself, because this information is out there, then you start to realize that this is something that is actually quite liberating, because it's not something you ever need to fear. So anyway, what else? I found this interesting as well, because it's talking about the photonic, the light energy that comes in. It brings these darker aspects to the surface, whether it's individually within us, so that we get to sort of understand the things that are holding us back. And as he says, and this is what I like about it, and this really aligns, Jolé, with what you do in your meditations, which is all about, you know, you identify it, you thank it, you bless it, and you release it, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Because it's not a case, because, you know, what we're told is like, say, for instance, if somebody has cancer or something like that, he's told it's the fight against cancer, right? And this is the bizarre thing about it, is that if you bring the energy of fight into something like that, you're not actually helping. You're actually creating conflict energy, which can sometimes make it worse. But if you actually look at it and say, okay, well, there's cancer cells that may be in your body. They're not evil. They're not there representing the darkness. They're there showing there's an imbalance that needs to be rectified. But from what I understand from a healing perspective, is that you kind of almost talk to your cancer cells, and you say, thank you for highlighting this imbalance for me, but I've got this now. Thank you. But, you know, you can bless it and remove it. And that's what a lot of these healers do. I'm not one of those healers, but at the end of the day, I kind of understand that you don't put fight energy into things.
Correct. You know, they say that the defense is the first act of war. So defending yourself is really what you're doing, is you're causing more harm, because love is the only thing that has the power to transform any negativity into positive energy. So when working with disease and illness, it's like it didn't take one day to create cancer. It may have started as a thought form. It may have come into the body through vulnerabilities we didn't realize that we have. But at the end of the day, one way to work with your doctor and your therapist and these people is to really sit down and work with your cancer, meaning it's alive, correct? Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be eating away at you.
Right.
So it's a part of and parcel of who you are at that point. So now it's time to have a come to Jesus meeting with cancer,
Yeah.
and really begin to sort of work with those energies and those cells to figure out what's going on here. And I think most of us, we just panic and we step outside of our bodies expecting for someone else to take responsibility to heal us. I'm raising my hand on that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the front of the line. I'm absolutely out of judgment on that. But we have tools in our toolbox through many generations and ancient teachings that today, if we utilize consistently and persistently, and we work with our bodies, just like when we keep putting celery juice in our bodies every day, right? It gives us health. It can really do something to our cells, but how many of us really want to wake up every day and juice a whole batch of celery? Like that requires how much money? I mean, there's so many iterations and different things that can get in the way. Nevertheless, when you have intangible energy and you know how to work with that through symbiology, creative visualization, and connection, then it helps to be able to alleviate some of that disease and illness on the way out. Because when you start to give it the attention that it obviously desires, it's in your body and it's wreaking havoc, there's a chance for it to begin to release itself. Now, this does take time. There is protocols, there is techniques to do this. Nevertheless, it is possible. So I feel like today, of course, John, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, because what you're saying there, very much aligns also with what Dr. Bruce Lipton told us about 3 weeks ago, which is all about cellular biology. He is a cellular biologist, a professor, a doctor, and all the rest of it. And he's studied this for over 50 years. And he understands how your thought patterns affect your cellular health. It's the messages that you are sending to all your ongoing renewal, because the cells are in a state of ongoing renewal. And if you are in fear, and that translates into fight or flight, then basically that becomes a blocker to your cellular development. And if that stays the same for long enough, then you are basically opening yourself up for these diseases to come in, because it is just showing you that there is an imbalance there. So, there's absolute scientific research and facts that sit behind this. So, what we used to think of as certainly what I would have thought of, say, 6 years ago, as woo-woo nonsense, you start to realize that actually, much though our doctors and nurses and hospitals do a fantastic job at, helping us through this, I do think, and I've said it before, in a decade's time, the health landscape, the wellness landscape will be very, very different. It will be a recognition that we personally can take responsibility for our own healing, or using practitioners, spiritual, holistic practitioners, to help to get a resolution to these things, non-invasive. We looked at Dr. Bradley Nelson and what he's doing, right? With the muscle testing, the emotion code, the body code, the stuff of miracles, really, except it isn't. It's just tapping into ancient wisdom that has been around for thousands of years. And it's so simple. Any of us can do it. We don't even need a second person. We just do it for ourselves, doing our little muscle testing like this. What's the resistance level like? And you can work your way through it. And these
Mhm.
things are really empowering. And I just love the fact that we're now tapping into things that give us our power back. You know, we don't have to hand all our power over to the, you know, to those that we hope will bring us the, you know, the remedies to the imbalances. But the fact is, we have so much power in ourselves in the first instance, or working with people who can kind of help you in that journey as well, clearly.
Yeah.
But that's not to disrespect our healthcare professionals, of course.
Not at all. What we do works hand in hand with Western medicine, Eastern medicine. We're just trying to get the mind on board, heart, of course, mind, body, spirit on board with healing, with releasing, with letting go, to allow for that, practice, or that clinician and what they're doing to be able to come into the body to relieve it. And to do that, oftentimes when we're diagnosed and we receive our condition, we tense up. We get very scared. We leave our bodies. And this, what it does is it opens us up to more disease, to more illness, and to more mistakes that we make in our, doing what we have been tasked with.
Yeah.
So each day, it's important to connect with your body, or you benefit, especially with disease and illness, by grounding your energy. Because there's a saying, shaking off the mortal coil. What is that? That's just another word for your grounding cord, right? And so if you want to live, stay grounded each day. Do an exercise to earth and to connect to Mother Earth and receive her nurturing energy, and to say, hey, I'm here. I'm a part of this. You have this intangible energy that is your boundary, which is known as your aura layer, right? And oftentimes our boundaries are so unclear. People are in our personal space. They're taking our energies. We allow for vampires and bats and all kinds of things to just take up residence in our aura and in our energy. So we clear that out, and we work with that on a daily basis. We make sure we make decisions from the highest part of us, and we want to be back in our bodies after we dream and fly and go and do those things with our astral body. We need to be here and present. So all of these things, known as our soul architecture, work to help us stay healthy. And some of these challenges that we've experienced is that we feel like a broken heart and cracks and on this and holes and all. Right. But this is an opportunity for the light to get in. So oftentimes when you're working with this disease and illness, if you can see it as it's something's trying to give me a message of positivity, there's something for me to learn here, and then I can release it, and then I can let go of it. So in today's meditation, I'd really like to keep it very simple. It's always, like you say, John, best to keep it simple. We're going to bring in more of that beautiful photonic light, which I like to classify as a beautiful gold. Imagine sunlight mixed in with melted gold, you know what I mean? And just that beautiful golden connection or combination is what the gold light looks like. And then also, how do you release and let go? Well, physically, let's be real. You want to get rid of mass. Disease leaves the body through sweat and through other forms of letting go. But spiritually, it takes place the same way. How do you get that out of your body? You've got to create a grounding cord, right? And even in the center of your head, you're going to open that up, and you're creating what is known as like trash bags or means portals of transmutation. So if you're thinking, how do I get rid of and release this energy? These are the tips and the tricks and the techniques you can use to let go of some of this. So even if you have a disease, you have something like stomach ailment, your chakra, pull it out and you put it in that rose. You're going to pull that out physically. I mean, like it's intangible, but it's an energy. You can't feel stress. I mean, you can't see stress, but you sure can feel it, right? It's the same effect. So you pull it out and you throw it into the rose outside your aura. And the rose is a symbol of transmuting negative energy into positive energy. So it is a universal symbol the ancients have used coming through to create things. And if you notice, many people in their companies and in their family crest, and in the some of the work that they do will represent themselves with the rose. It's a very powerful symbol. So you use that if you have disease and illness, seeing these golden roses eating away at whatever it is that's ailing you is another way to release it. And then what do? You're going to send those roses down your grounding cord into Mother Earth. And what's beautiful about creative visualization is it allows for you to really deep dive into the theta brainwave, which is where subconscious programming takes place.
Mhm.
Because the subconscious mind is the hard drive. The conscious mind is the monitor. So the monitor is only going to give you what's lying in the hard drive or whatever you want to call that. I'm not tech savvy, but that software, hardware that is programming, showing you what's on the monitor. So that's how the conscious and the subconscious mind work. So when you're creatively visualizing, it takes you deep into that theta brainwave where you can then begin to reprogram the mind towards health. So that's why we do this creative visualization. So if you find yourself falling asleep or really relaxing and dropping out, that's okay. Just know your higher self is receiving all of the meditation and the instructions. So please relax. It's very important that we do that. Now, another thing with the creative visualization / meditation is you want to make sure you see each aspect of the creative visualization to its very end. So if you are creating a grounding cord, you want to see that all the way to the roots, the little hair on the bottom. If you're releasing anything, you want to see that mass go all the way down into Mother Earth and become one with her. So you never want to leave that image or that video halfway through or 3/4 of the way through. Take it all the way to its end. Let all that gold light go all the way to the end of the toenails, all the way down the grounding cord. So you really want to be thorough with how you do this. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just preliminary. And now what's the one more thing I want to talk about is the difference between creative visualization and meditation. Meditation really works on the breath, the calming of the body, really trying to bring the body into stasis and balance. Creative visualization is to do things, create, manifest. That's why we do it in tandem with meditation. Because I know when I just focusing in on my breath, I'm in my mind, I'm cooking dinner, I'm picking out my outfit, and I'm doing things. So you want to put your mind to work and tell it what it is you need for it to do, your goals. This is how you begin to manifest because you have to see this. See it so much that it becomes a part of your cells. And then now you are magnetizing that experience to you. And that's the beauty of creative visualization.
Yeah. It's,
right?
And this is the thing, it's impressing on yourself that we have this power, we have the ability to do these things. And I love the idea of drawing out the energy wherever the issues are, literally just pulling it. It's just, it just kind of adds to that process. And I know it may seem bizarre for those who are more mainstream, who've never meditated or anything like that. It's kind of it seems a little out there, but I know through the last, again, 5 years plus, of how amazing it is once you actually get yourself in the way of thinking, the right way of thinking for this. Because you're talking about the theta state, the sleep state almost. You're going into that area, and I said before, but like when I'm doing my meditation, it's when I'm half asleep, and I love it. If I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I just drift into this mindset, and it's beautiful because you're like, you just, you can connect so much easier. Your conscious mind is not getting in the way as much. Therefore, you can make connections that it's less easy when you're just like living life around you. It's just like, there's too many distractions. Then that's just a blissful feeling. And I know that when you get that blissful state, then that to me that tells you connected. Because that's where this, once you on the track, what you find is you feel liberated, you feel blissful, you feel joyful. And it just feels good at at the most cellular level. You can just kind of appreciate the fact you've got 50 trillion cells that make up your team, right? My team, John Drew here, 50 trillion of us all working together. Then there's life force energy that it creates that personality. And as Rob Schwartz actually said in his other book, he talks about how we plan before we come into this life and what our role is going to be, and why we plan to meet certain people at certain points in our life, and the lessons that we learn through those connections. And
Yep.
Jolé, I kind of use you as an example to say, if it hadn't have been for a bizarre bunch of circumstances, our paths would never have crossed, but they were always intended to.
Exactly. And this is the thing, John, I learned in Clear Sight from Reverend Judy Nelson that the chakras absolutely are in alignment with what you say, because before you come here, your chakras are like luggage. And what you've done is you've packed in these experiences. And when you were born, your chakras unpack, that luggage unpacks. Those are your experiences for your soul to evolve. That's why the chakras, they see it as a connection between the soul and the body and all of that good stuff. Now, there's controversy now about chakras. People believe there's several, there's many, they don't really matter, they intertwine. But nevertheless, know that you can use them to heal and to grow. That's it. And it's an important aspect, because if we have this knowledge and wisdom, it gets easier for us to move out of struggle, competition, and drama, which Mr. Schwartz talks about, in his video.
Yes.
It's a choice in some ways, shapes or forms. How do we get past that programming? Because that's all it really is.
Yes. Yeah. And the drama thing, yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact is that what he's talking about is that there is a time of chaos ahead. This thing in the Yeshua channeling there towards the end, it was talking about, imagine it's your house is being rebuilt. You can look at it in two ways. One, it's disrupting and it's troubling your life and it's stressful. And the other is, wow, I'm having my house rebuilt. How fantastic is that? So two polar opposites ways of looking at exactly the same thing. And this is really what's important about this new Earth situation, because you can view it and think, wow, we are on our way to the age of Aquarius, where we are going to be so empowered and we are going to come together as a community, that spirit of oneness, the Christ consciousness, the heart-based consciousness, all that good stuff. That's what we've got to look forward to. So while our house is being rebuilt, we will see chaos around us. But we do not need to immerse ourselves in the chaos. We can understand it we can take it from a place of neutrality, because we know this is part of the process. And yes, we can sort of be compassionate towards those who may be struggling through earth events like earthquakes and weather events and other things, or acts of war that are being perpetrated. Yeah, we can totally feel compassionate, but don't get drawn into the drama from a negative perspective where it brings you down. Just realize this is part of the process that is taking us on a magnificent journey to a much better place. And none of us ever die, right? That's it. Money back guarantee and all. We never die. We just lose, the physical vessel will go at some point, but we continue on. The life force energy, the divine life force energy that is the real you, cannot be destroyed. As with all energy, energy cannot be destroyed. It just transmutes from one form to another. So you become out of unembodied life force energy, which is what we are a lot of the time, even each day, every night when we go into our deepest sleep and our life force energy exits the body and goes back over the other side. Now, we're not consciously aware of that, but that connection takes place every day. And it seems strange to us, because obviously the body itself is the thing that gets tired and does need rest, but the actual soul aspect that sits within the body doesn't need to rest. It does not need that. It will just carry on. But anyway.
Absolutely. And it's what we, I guess, really desire to do when we do these meditations and we show the videos of people speaking, is to really open up and allow more authenticity. I think at the end of the day, what Dr. Robert Schwartz was talking about was be real with yourself, get to know you and your spirit and flow with that. And
Mm.
then when you show up in the universe can show up more for you. But we're wearing so many masks and we're trying to conform to so much that's out of alignment with who we truly are. So once we start to begin to release all of this stuff, whatever it may be, who cares, just get it out,
Mm.
we can really allow for more of that ourselves to connect with the divinity.
Yes.
And that's what's really important. So I really want to keep, is it time for the
It
meditation?
is time for the meditation. So I'm going to switch screens here again because we have a nice image that then I'm going to switch myself off from this for now.
You know, it's such a blessing and an honor to be able to do this. I mean, oftentimes healers get to where they are because of some tragedy or disease or illness or struggle. And that's kind of what I said breaks through and then the light comes in. But I feel we can let go of that. As beings of light, we don't need the darkness to inform us all the time. So today I'd like to walk us through a way to release the darkness or to transmute it into something that can help us heal ourselves and to grow. One of the things I'd also like to lay on the table is when we leave this meditation, let's focus more on what we want instead of what fails to work or what we fail to want. Because focusing on the things that fail to work give us more failure. Focusing on what is working is what brings us more of the solution. So please take a deep breath in and exhale. And as you do that, I'd like you to relax your body. Feel your toes, feel the pad of your foot, your arch, your crown, your Achilles heel, feel your ankles, your calves, your knees. Relax them. Relax your thighs, relax your hips, your tummy, relax your rib cage, your shoulders, your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your arms, relax your neck. Let your head just kind of flop, and just kind of sit back and feel your sit bones in the chair. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and bring your awareness to your heart chakra. As you put your feet flat on the floor, your palms face up. And as always, for those of you laying down, just keep your feet flat on the floor for the first part of the meditation. Generate, create, and imagine a grounding cord connected to the heart, 6 inches in diameter. You're going to create this. I see these little, I don't know what they are, like things. And what they do is they're stitching together my grounding cord all the way from my heart. And it goes through the chair, and then it goes through the floor. And then it goes through the crust of the earth, the lithosphere. And then for some reason, it makes its way over to this Marianas Trench. And then it goes down, and that's my entrance into Mother Earth and all of her depth. And I start moving at the speed of light as this grounding cord just gets created, moving through the asthenosphere and into the root core of Mother Earth, the semi-permeable essence. These roots, they have little hairs on them, and they're rooted, and I'm grounded, and these roots are strong. And then I check on my grounding cord as I look up and make sure it's 6 inches in diameter all the way up into my heart. And it's even all the way down. If you need to change it of an earth energy, if you want it to be a lava, tunnel of fire, tunnel of water, a cave, a light, quartz crystal, waves, water, whatever it is, tree trunk, rope, make sure it's vivid in color. Today, mine is just a beam of gold light rooted into Mother Earth, receiving all of her messages, shining light on all that is working. Now, I want you to connect with your aura layer, pull it in to be 1.5 feet around you. Call your higher self back above you in a comfortable distance from the crown of your head. And then snap that astral body in, feet and feet, knees and knees, hips and hips, hands and hands, elbows and elbows, shoulders and shoulders, head and head, fitting inside of you like a hand fits inside of a glove. Now, we're going to call in golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles inside and outside, blanketing our grounding cord. And why are we doing this? To get rid of anything that no longer serves us, anyone else's energy, anything we're ready to let go of and release. We're going to get that off of our grounding cord, bringing us into the present moment. That's the point of power. So now call in those golden rose-shaped cleaning, scrubbing bubbles, blanketing the inside and the outside of your grounding cord, all the way down to the roots, to the hair on the roots, and let them just get to cleaning. Just imagine just the marination of positive energy, just liquefying negativity and disease and illness, and just melting it all down the grounding cord, like just giving you a whole new lease on life, a whole new feeling, just a newness coming throughout your heart, going down the grounding cord, each little nook and cranny, crevice, as these golden rose-shaped cleaning utensil scrubbing bubbles, just from the top in the heart all the way to the very bottom. It's just eating away at negativity, eating away at disease, eating away at illness. And while this is taking place, simultaneously, there's a golden sun being placed above your head from infinite mind, divine life force, energy, creator of all that is. And in this golden sun is nothing but unconditional love and forgiveness. And as this grounding cord is being cleaned off with the golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles, and there's a rhythm happening here. It's just scrubbing and scrubbing, releasing and releasing, letting go and letting go, and just eating away at all of this energy, just eating away at it. These golden scrubbing bubbles. Okay, and now we open the crown like we would the lens of a camera. See that visualization happening. Open it like the lens of a camera, just. And that golden sun then begins to come down into the crown. It focuses itself as it fills up the entire cranium, every neuron, every synapses, every single part of the head, the face, the eyebrows, the adenoids, the sinus, the lips, the teeth, all the way down the neck. It comes down, it hits the heart, and then whoosh, going down that grounding cord, that beautiful golden sun, giving you an entire newness. You are creating a new earth, a new foundation to begin to connect and receive the positivity and the nurturing energy Mother Earth has for you. And now we're going to put another golden sun above our head. We're going to see the divine, place another golden sun above our head filled with love, unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion. And we're going to bring that down again. And we're going to let that sit in the heart chakra. Because what this is going to do now, it's going to become a honeycomb in our heart. And then this honeycomb is going to expand out into our chest. It's going to move up into our neck, coming up into our head, down into our stomach, around the back, into the spine, the shoulders, the hands. What is this doing? This is new programming. What this is doing is replacing all of the old cells, all of the old energy, this honeycomb that is making itself, expanding itself throughout your body as it moves down into the hips and into the glutes, to the reproductive organs, down through the thighs and the femur, into the knees. You're becoming this whole big honeycomb as it moves out into your aura layer, creating newness, creating a new frequency and a new vibration, so that disease and illness, drama, struggle, competition can no longer magnetize to you, can no longer stick. You no longer manifest these types of experiences. We're moving into loving, kindness, compassion, newness of connection and positive energy. So watch all of that old dissolve and resolve itself. That honeycomb takes over, moving out that energy down the grounding cord, all the way down. Watch this negativity that can no longer exist in your body. Move to the center of your body. All of that negativity is coming to the center of your body to be moved out and down that grounding cord as that honeycomb, that beautiful golden honeycomb, begins to take over your body and your aura layer. Your heart is a honeycomb. Your lungs are a honeycomb. Your tummy is a honeycomb. Every part of you is in the shape of a golden honeycomb. Your aura layer is a round, beautiful golden honeycomb. Your body is a beautiful honeycomb. All of your organs, all of this newness vibrating with the energy of unconditional love, forgiveness, and compassion. Allowing for all disease and illness to move down and throughout your body, out of your body. Bringing in more gold light, bringing in more gold energy. Just keep bringing the golden suns down. 1, 2, 3, 4, just keep bringing them in. You are allowed. So any disease and illness in your body has been moved out. This honeycomb is moving it out and down your grounding cord, down your grounding cord. And you're this beautiful honeycomb. So now I'd like for you to take a moment, take a deep breath in, release and connect with any disease and illness in your body. Where does it exist? Do you have any type of pain, any type of resistance? Connect with that. Gently speak to it. Say, thank you so much for being here and teaching me all these powerful and positive lessons. But I have learned everything I need to learn from you. And it's time to let you go and release you with grace and ease. I transmute you into positive life force energy for someone, anyone in the universe to use. And so now I release you into Mother Earth. Golden sun above your head. You're going to bring that golden sun down, filling up the spaces and the places that you removed that disease and that illness. And this honeycomb meditation is how we create newness in our lives, how we connect to the golden divine life force energy in the universe, to focus on the joy and the positivity of healing and of growth, and to release the trauma and the toxicity of drama, struggle, and competition in the highest and best way with grace and ease. Take a deep breath in, release, connect with your grounding cord. As you release anything that no longer serves you, knowing that this is the portal to release negative energy. And that is why it's so important to ground and to earth in the highest and best way. Pull your aura in 1.5 feet around you. Make sure your higher self is above you and your astral body is snapped in. Take a deep breath in and release. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Jolé. That was brilliant.
Good. The honeycomb I was using, and as you can see, John, I was very inspired by your shirt, but that was actually a meditation to create newness and new earth and to really get those telomeres like excited and wanting to reproduce themselves. Because the golden honeycomb, it just, you know, it's when you're speaking, okay, I'm going to give you guys some PhD little symbology, is when you are connecting with people who have passed over. What I learned is that you create a point of light, which is a honeycomb. And then it grows, and then it grows, and then it grows, and then it grows, and then it grows. And beyond that, what you would call gate or fence is the other side. So they can't break through because you don't want that, you know what I mean? But you can speak to them by creating this honeycomb, because it creates this like new world. It's like a gateway. So when you do a honeycomb meditation, you're creating a gateway to a new earth. You're creating a gateway to new energy, releasing the old and creating something entirely new. But it's important now to step into positive energy. I know that we've been programmed to fix what doesn't work, really focusing in on the things that don't work so we can be perfect or we can fit in or whatever. But here, what we want to do is we want to allow for this honeycomb to bring us positive energy. We really want to focus in on what is working, because that is how the new earth is going to be built.
Yes. Yes. And I think it's a good point as well, within that as well, that, you know, as humans, we are not designed to be perfect. So we should never be judgmental on ourselves for lacking perfection, because this is a journey, and we have built in our, you know, into our life experience, many blocks and challenges, because that's why we're here. We're here for growth. And without those, then the journey would be relatively meaningless, because, you know, you may get an easy ride, but you're not learning an awful lot. The people who go through the biggest hardships in life are the ones who are learning the most. So whilst you think you wouldn't wish it upon yourself, then, you know, you'd be quite surprised. And again, that's what Robert Schwartz's books have done for me in terms of helping me to understand through all the people that he works through, because it's not just Robert on his own. He has an entire team that works with him, and his wife Liesl as well now, who is also gifted. Didn't know she had a gift, but when they got together, that was their life paths crossing at the predetermined time. And now it's opened up this teamwork between him and Liesl, who are putting fantastic energy out there every week. So, you know, soulsgift.com, I think, is the I'll verify it anyway. I'll make sure it's on the video. But yeah, I'd recommend going and have a look at Robert's work, because the man is here for a very good reason, and he is definitely delivering on that. Now, Jolé, before we go anywhere else, I want to just check something off screen here for a moment. No, we're all okay. We're all okay. We're not missing anything.
All right. I'm just really grateful and honored to be here. I understand that sometimes the meditations, creative visualizations, they bounce around. But the thing is we just have to allow for the spirit to take us on this journey. And through, you know, visualizing certain symbols and things, we really wake up our energy and our DNA to heal. So one meditation may be intense. The next one may be very calm, and they may just go through different iterations. But if you stay with them and take something from it, you will definitely be stepping into more light, more energy of creativity. And you allow for that darkness, you know, to either dissipate or inform the light.
Yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's you know, I love this journey, and I love doing these. It's just nice to be able to sort of get the energy out there, get the messages out there, and completely accepting the fact that this does not align with everyone's version of reality. But, you know, if it's just planting seeds, then that's fine too. You know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But the weekly goes out possibly later today with the recorded version of this on it as well. And again, there's more about the New Earth side of things there as we get deeper into this. And I think it's important that people have an awareness, because even when they don't believe it, when things start happening that register as chaos in various forms, then at least having a heads up that actually there's a reason for this. And the reason in the long term is fantastic. And again, if you view this, again, going back to that analogy within the earlier video about your house being rebuilt, you know, you can choose whether it's a disruptive event that is getting in the way of your life, or you can choose to get excited about the fact that your house is being rebuilt, and what is going to be there at the end of it is going to be amazing. So all a matter of perspective.
Correct.
Thank you, Jolé.
Thank you, John. I'm really appreciative and grateful. Thank you, Elevated Planet community. Please remember that we have a whole community you can join called Nos Populi, and we can support you in your healing journey as you help us elevate the planet.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jolé, and thank you, everyone. And we will be back with you in a week's time. Take care. Bye.